This is where if you're Giannis and you say, okay, this is my legacy, my career, we've got to the top. We had great times. It was an awesome run, and we won a title, but it's just not happening. And the next 4 years are going to be the best 4 years I have, and I got to be someplace where I can win. I keep going out in the first round. There keeps being different iterations of the team. Oh, we're going to do this instead. We're going to make a trade. We're going to trade this guy here. We're going to go get Damian Lillard. And none of it has worked. None of it is getting you out of the first round. None of it's getting you any closer to a title. If you're Giannis in the offseason, you have to say, hey, let's do this really well. Let's do this I'm not going to throw you guys under the bus. Let's not do this in the press. But, hey, let's make this amicable as we can. Move me. I need you to move me. Don't make it bad, because I'll make it bad. And if you say no, I'll make it bad, because we know the NBA is a star-driven league. Stars get what they want, right? You can, hey, I'm just going to hold my breath and pout. We watch James Harden happen to him. It happens to all bunch of guys. But if I'm Giannis, I say, look, let's keep this amicable. I really need a new start. I need to go somewhere else. If you make it bad, I can make it bad, but let's go. Let's do this amicably. And the Bucks, you had your chance. You had your time. It's not getting any better. You need to move on. And Giannis should be on another team for the beginning of next year.
Had their championship win, then you lose in the Eastern Conference semifinal, and now you got 3 straight first-round losses. So you probably excise the coach, and Doc Rivers moves into whatever the next phase of his career is. But from a roster perspective, you're cash strapped. You made the move to get Lillard, and you brought in Kuzma, who had a big deal. All of that to say, moving forward for Giannis, even with these gaudy numbers, I mean, statistically, just really one of the more ridiculous series you see. 33, 15.4, 6.6 assists per game, shot 61% from the field, go on the line, and you're not nowhere near enough against the Pacers. A good but not great team. And that should be the thing that gets underscored here. It's not that you went and lost to what looks like a juggernaut and a deep squad in Cleveland, or a squad that's assembled that you just say, well, we probably didn't have a punch chance. No, here you got eliminated pretty quickly. And obviously, between Lillard's illness and now this injury, you didn't have the full workload and anticipation of what this series could be, but you don't have that going forward while you're still committed to that money on the books. So you're hamstrung in terms of the moves you can make to make this any better. So for Giannis, yeah, Shaq is known for 2 things. Right, he was still the big Shaqtus and all of those things, and was a vagabond the final years of his career. The time he's in Cleveland, then he's in Boston, Phoenix, all of those things. You don't want to become that guy, because that does take away from some of those titles. But your point is still well taken, is that you're still in the prime of your career if you're Giannis. So sputtering to first round exits year after year is certainly not how you anticipate the rest of your career going. Loyalty is great to a point.
Yeah, I mean, and you can't fault him for, look, I stayed, and then after we won a couple of years later, I kept staying. I said, okay, you went out and got play. Okay, great. But it just hasn't worked.
Right,
this is nobody's fault. This is nobody's fault, right? I thought when they got Damian Lillard, the Bucks are going to run the East for the next 3 or 4 years.
Well, we talked about it even leading
Lillard's been waiting
towards
for this.
The playoffs, that they were potentially a dangerous team if things broke right.
Yeah.
And quite clearly, everything that could go wrong did.
Yeah, I mean, I can't fault them. They went out and got the best player they could to beat Giannis's 1A, and it just hasn't worked. And you can't tell Giannis, what if we get you a new coach? No. You tried that a couple of times already. Didn't work. Didn't work. Didn't work.
And you can't tell me Giannis didn't have an invisible hand in some of that movement as well.
Oh, of course. But there's nothing you can say if you're Milwaukee that's going to convince him to say, yes, I'm going to buy in to stay. Who are we going to get? I don't know. What's the deal with Damian Lillard? I don't know. Are we going to get out of the first round? That's our goal. Okay, not enough. Not good enough.
Right, that can't be the goal.
No.
I mean, that's the Knicks' goal.
Yeah, this should be Giannis Where Giannis gets traded should be the number one topic of conversation once the NBA Finals end. Where is he going to end up? How are they going to facilitate this deal? How does it happen? Different sources, reports from Shams or anybody else over the course of the month leading up. This is what it should be, because really, and then you're throwing in guys like Embiid, who probably should be on the trading block too. Other big players are going to be out there, but this should be the Giannis offseason, because he's signed for the next few years. So okay. And that helps a team because they know what they're paying for him. So it's not like, well, we don't know what we got to pay. No, we can make a great trade because you got him for the next 3 years. You can give us these assets. This is how we can make it work in Milwaukee, because it's done. It's hit its natural conclusion. Is the best way to look at it. Is that sometimes endings are abrupt, sometimes endings are pushed by one side. Maybe it ends too early, maybe it ends too late, but sometimes things just end, and this is a natural conclusion. This is a natural end of this relationship.
Well, and it's got the much longer tail than perhaps it even should have, right? When we talk about coaching changes and the number of times we've seen teams turn the page on a coach the year after they've won a Coach of the Year award. They don't get that long run.
Yeah.
Here, Giannis gave them a 4-year launching pad after a title. It's reached its natural endpoint.